Hello, forever friends and family. I would like to welcome everybody to webinar Transforming Anxiety. Добрый вечер, дорогие друзья и партнеры. Я рад вас приветствовать на нашем вебинаре, который будет идти на русском языке, на английском языке, извините меня. Только начало мы начнем английский и русский, как это принято на этом вебинаре по определенным правильным соображениям, потому что я получал несколько очень интересных таких фидбэков от людей. We continue in English, and it will be translation from English to Russian, just a cover. Then Isaac will continue to read in English only. Then we will continue to move forward with the read to study and hopefully implement the skills and knowledge from this outstanding book, Transforming Anxiety. Isaac, please go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Transforming Anxiety, the HeartMath solution for overcoming fear and worry and creating serenity.
Решение Института математики сердца для преодоления страха и тревоги и создания спокойствия, умиротворения.
The perfect antidote to anxiety. Feelings of anxiety can sap your energy, joy, and vitality. But now the scientists at the Institute of HeartMath have adapted their revolutionary techniques into a fast and simple program that you can use to break free from anxiety once and for all.
Прекрасное средство от чувства тревоги и страха. Чувства тревоги могут забирать вашу энергию и жизненность. Но в настоящее время ученые Института математики сердца ввели свои реляционные методы в быструю простую программу, которую вы можете использовать, чтобы освободиться от чувства страха и тревоги один раз и навсегда.
At the core of the HeartMath method is the idea that our thoughts and emotions affect our heart rhythms. By focusing on positive feelings such as appreciation, care, or compassion, you can create coherence in these rhythms with amazing results. Using the HeartMath method, you learn to engage your heart to bring your emotions, body, and mind into balance. Relief from anxiety, optimal health, and high performance all day long will follow.
В основе метода Института математики сердца лежит идея, что наши мысли и эмоции влияют на сердечный ритм. Сфокусировавшись на положительных чувствах, таких как признательность, забота или сочувствие, вы сможете создать согласованность в этих ритмах и иметь замечательные результаты в этой работе. Используя метод математики сердца, вы научитесь использовать сердце, чтобы привести свои эмоции, тело и разум в баланс. После этого последует облегчение чувства тревоги и страха, и вы будете иметь хорошее оптимальное здоровье и высокую производительность в течение целого дня.
Quote, a powerful guide to using positive emotions and loving kindness to reduce anxiety in its myriad forms. Drawing on science and common sense, the HeartMath tools will be helpful to anyone when practiced as taught in this straightforward and easy-to-read book, end quote. Frederick Luskin, PhD.
Thank you, Isaac. Oh, go ahead, Zoe, I'm sorry.
Эта книга является мощным руководством по использованию позитивных эмоций, любви, доброты, чтобы уменьшить чувство тревоги в ее многочисленных формах. Привлекая науку и здравый смысл, средства этого метода математики сердца будут очень полезны любому, кто практикует кто его практикует. Этому обучает эта книга, которую очень легко и просто читать.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Zoe. Let me change the screen and we will continue in a second. Okay. Go ahead, Isaac, please.
Tools in action. The HeartMath tools you have learned in this chapter: notice and ease for emotion admittance, power of neutral for emotion refocusing, and attitude breathing for emotion restructuring can be used by themselves or together in less than 3 minutes once you've learned them. We call these tools in action because they help you shift out of anxiety and other draining emotions and attitudes while you're on the go. But you have to actually use the tools, not just think about them, for them to work. You will increase your coherence and build new habits and baseline pattern as you practice. You will also find yourself becoming a more balanced, calmer, and wiser person. Power of neutral and attitude breathing especially helps you build confidence and self-security. You can use them when you find yourself struggling between what your mind wants and what your heart knows is right. They can help you act on your heart's truth and integrity and make more appropriate decisions. You find security in your own heart as you access and follow the wisdom of your heart intelligence. Heart intelligence and power. Without heart intelligence, the untamed mind and emotions will keep you duped into believing that your vitality is being squandered by circumstances beyond your control. These tools in action help you shift to a state of increased psychophysiological coherence, which can bring your entire system, heart, brain, mind, emotions, and nervous system into a dynamic state of internal flow. In this state, intuitive heart intelligence becomes more available to you. Heart intelligence will help you to adapt to life's challenges and save loads of time and energy that could be lost to fears, anxieties, emotional processing, mental confusion, and poor decisions. Heart intelligence opens pathways from the heart to the brain that give you the information and power you need to be in control and to free yourself from anxiety. In the next chapter, you will learn the cut-through technique for clearing anxiety accumulation and the past emotional histories that create it. Transforming and creating accumulated anxieties. If each of us swept in front of our own steps, the whole world would be clean. Gotham. It takes alignment between heart, brain, mind, emotions, and nervous system to release accumulative anxieties. We call this heart alignment. By using the power of heart rhythm coherence to create heart alignment, you can cut through accumulated anxieties and free your energy to enjoy your life now. According to ancient Greek texts, Gordius, king of Phrygia, tied a knot so entwined that no one could untie it. A prophecy foretold that anyone who succeeded in untying the knot would become ruler of all of Asia. Alexander the Great was struggling to figure out the intricacies of how the knot was formed, when in a flash of insight, he realized it makes no difference how it is tied, and cut through the knot with the sword. Alexander the Great went on to become the ruler of Asia. The expression cut through means get to the heart of the matter. When dealing with anxiety, you don't have time to go through all the details of your past to get relief. You need to cut through. That's why Doug designed the cut-through technique and shortened the spelling of cut through. The cut-through technique shows you how to cut through the Gordian knot of accumulated overcares, anxieties, and fears to become a ruler of your own self. Accumulated anxieties are composed of perception, feeling, and energy stored in cellular memories. It takes practice to build your coherence power with cut through. But as you practice, you transform cellular patterns into insight and effective actions. You clear anxiety accumulation as you release emotional investment built up around past issues. Learning to cut through. Cut through's 6 short steps were designed to help take you through the process of release. Each time you repeat them with the right attitude, old perceptions, thoughts, and feelings are released from your cells. Approaching the technique with a sincere, business attitude accelerates the clearing. After you go through the steps a few times, it will get simpler. Eventually, the flow of the steps become automatic inside, and you can just use the quick steps for release. It's important to read through the explanations of the steps to understand how the process unfolds. The wording of each step is designed to build the coherence you need to release deep issues. To get started, pick an anxiety issue. Don't pick your most loaded or most stressful issue to start. Pick a minor issue to learn on. Create a cut-through worksheet on a piece of paper or in your journal or notebook. Instructions for making the worksheet can be found later in this chapter. Read each step, the explanation, and the example of how Tracy, a customer service manager, used the step. Then practice the step on your issue and write your response on the cut-through worksheet. Continue with the next step and do the same. When you finish, look back and read your responses to each step to gain more understanding. Note what your heart is telling you. Then take action on your intuition. If you are uncertain, do the steps again to get more clarity. The cut-through technique. Step 1, be aware of how you feel about the issue at hand. Step 2, center yourself by breathing in through the heart and out through the solar plexus. Breathe love and appreciation through this area for 30 seconds or longer to help anchor your attention there. Step 3, assume objectivity about the feeling or issue as if it were someone else's problem. Step 4, rest in neutral in your rational, mature heart. Step 5, soak and relax any disturbed or perplexing feelings in the compassion of the heart. Dissolve the significance a little at a time. Remember, it is not the problem that causes energy drain as much as the stored significance you have assigned to the problem. Step 6, after dissolving as much significance as you can from your deep heart sincerely ask for appropriate guidance or insight. If you don't get an answer, find something to appreciate for a while. Now it's your turn to practice the steps. Step 1. Be aware of how you feel about the issue at hand. Learn to observe and name your feelings. Be honest with yourself. Admitting how you feel is the first step in transformation. Most people notice through thoughts constantly feeding through their minds. It's harder to notice feelings skimming under the surface. This is because emotions occur faster than thoughts and faster than your mind's ability to intercept them. Many times, how you feel will be clear and easy to name: angry, anxious, overwhelmed, guilty, sad, happy, joyful, and so forth. Other times, this may be confusing and undercurrents of feelings. Just name whatever feelings you can.
Isaac, thank you for your reading. Take a break, please. And I would like to ask continue to read friend and partner. And the manager from Brooklyn, Helen Osipov, please.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Isaac. On some issues, you may have numbed out. Your feelings became you are busy. Oh, your feelings because you are busy. Or you don't want to become self-absorbed. Or you don't want to feel bad. Or you have too much past hurt to want to stay in touch with your feelings. The problem, as you learned in the last chapter, is that even if you try to ignore disturbed feelings or pretend they are not there, your subconscious emotional undercurrents stay absorbed in them. You can show them aside, but they are still depleting your energy. So the first step of cut through, being aware of how you feel, is critical to the process of transforming anxiety. Here is how Tracy completed step 1. My issue is I have to give my employees performance evaluation next week. When the evaluation is performance improvement needed, I begin to feel really anxious. I want to find a hole to crawl into. For days, I've been conjuring up all types of pictures of how it might go. Maybe I should have been a movie producer. Using step 1, I easily am able to recognize and label the feeling of anxiety. No Sherlock Holmes needed on this one. Write down your issue and how you feel about it on your cut-through worksheet. Step 2, center yourself by breathing in through the heart and out through the solar plexus. Breathe love and appreciation through this area for 30 seconds or longer to help anchor your attentions there. Breathing in through the area of the heart and out through the solar plexus, located about 4 inches below the heart, just below the sternum, helps keep your emotional energies anchored or grounded. The solar plexus, like the heart, has its own little brain with neurons, neurotransmitters, and oscillating rhythms. When you experience a frightening situation, your brain tells the adrenal gland in this area to release stress hormones that prepare the body to fight or flee. Your stomach contains many sensory nerves that are stimulated by this chemical surge, hence the butterflies, Gershon 1999. That's why you feel sensations of an anxiety or fear in the solar plexus area, or get a knot in your stomach when you are upset. Strong instincts also affect this gut brain, giving you gut feelings that tell you to take or avoid action. At times, this sensation can be a helpful warning signal, but frequently it's an instinctual stop-go reaction that's not based in current reality. This is usually the case with overcare and anxiety. Many people confuse gut feelings with their heart, but in fact, the gut brain is more instinctive than intuitive. It's your heart that provides sensitive intuition that brings understanding. When the gut brain synchronizes with the heart, you have more clarity and power. Step 2 begins to bring the gut brain into synchronization with the heart. Breathing a positive feeling or attitude like love or appreciation in through the heart and out through the solar plexus helps generate the coherent power needed to shift disturbed feelings toward a calmer state. How do you do this? Imagine breathing the positive feeling or attitude in through your heart and exhaling out through your solar plexus to help anchor in the positive attitude. Don't stress about whether you are doing it right. Just practice and gently and sincerely. After 30 seconds or so, you may find your emotions shifting toward an easier or more pleasant state. Strong emotional reactions will need longer, especially if your issue is about a deep hurt. Be genuine and stay with it. If you have the time, practice step 2 for several minutes. If you can't find a feeling of love or appreciation, it's okay. Just breathe an attitude of appreciation for something, anything, to get back in sync. It's worth the effort. You will learn what being synchronized feels like. Here's what happened when Tracy practiced step 2 on her issue. Breathing appreciation for myself and my employee in through the heart and out through the solar plexus immediately calmed me and created more of a solid feeling inside. Write down what you feel and perceive from practice in step 2 in your cut-through worksheet. Step 3, assume objectivity about the feeling or issue, as it is someone else's problem. Step 3 involves finding the maturity to disengage from an issue for a few moments in order to let the emotions release and come back to balance. You can't pretend you are watching another person dealing with your issue. It's like looking at yourself from a distance or from the point of view of your higher self. This helps give you a more dispassionate and objective view. You might imagine yourself as another person sitting a few feet away or standing below you, as if you were watching this person from a helicopter or from bird's eye view. One of the first things you may notice is how much more compassionate and understanding you are towards this other person than you have been towards yourself. Compassion is a core heart feeling that also helps increase heart rhythm coherence and synchronization between the heart and brain. Most of the time, when your emotions get hung up on an issue, it's because you're over-identified or over-attached. You get tangled up because at some level you believe that your identity or your fulfillment is at stake. You need to learn how to step back from the issue to say, I'm not the same at this problem, so that you can keep a more open mind about what is really happening. Marriage counselors and mediators spend about 80% of their time trying to get their clients to step back and see things more objectively. The same is needed when mediating a dispute within your own self. You'll never get anywhere if your mind is made up and your emotions are rigid. Whatever you perceive in step 3, keep your attention and energy focused in the heart to stay in coherence. As an emotion or issue releases, you might feel it all over again. All perceptions, thoughts, and feelings spinning out from cellular storage. That's part of the process. Don't buy in to those feelings all over again. Hold to your objectivity, whatever your feelings are doing. It can seem you're going backward, but you're not. It helps to remind yourself that it's just the accumulated anxiety spinning out. If the emotions still overtake you, it's okay. Just go back to step 2 and breathe genuine care or compassion for yourself to regain your composure. Know that your root motive to care about the issue is right, but you're getting caught up again in the emotions surrounding the issue. Knowing this is caring for yourself. Have compassion for yourself. That is only human, but you don't have to stay there. You can cut through.
Helen, take a break. Thank you for your reading. Thank you. And I would like to ask friend and partner, assistant supervisor from Brooklyn, Zoya, please continue from step 3.
Good evening. Thank you for reading, Isaac and Helen. Step 3 helps you to step outside the maelstrom of emotions so that your common sense, your heart intelligence, can intuitively guide this other person, you, to appropriate action. When Tracy applied step 3 to her issue on giving a less than stellar review to her employee, she found her perception began to shift. When I looked at the situation as if it were someone else's problem, some clarity emerged. I needed to keep in mind how I would want to be communicated with if I were the one getting the review. I know that I would want to be told if I needed to make a change that would benefit my team, colleagues, or me. I bet my employee feels that way deep down too. This was promising. Write down any shifts in perceptions or new ways to look at and address the issue after practicing step 3 on your cut-through worksheet. Step 4. Rest in neutral in your rational, mature heart. By finding some objectivity, you get closer to a state of neutral and can rest in more peaceful heart. Steps 1 through 3 help you become more neutral about issues that have strong negative emotional accumulation or stacked stress. Being neutral doesn't mean that you have to agree with anything that happened. It simply means becoming neutral toward your uncomfortable feelings, thoughts, and memories about the issue. This gives you more power and reduces their energy drain. Try to relax and ease feelings and thoughts that are not neutral into the heart. This allows the heart to transform in coherent emotional energy. It provides an opportunity for more peace and new possibilities to emerge. In some situations, you may be assuming motives you don't know. In neutral, you ask yourself, what if there's something I don't know? The attitude, I don't really know, helps the mind become humble and open, so that heart intelligence can surface to show you a new perspective. Even if what happened was tough and you were hurt or traumatized, in neutral, you can still ask yourself, haven't I drained enough from this? Isn't it time to at least try to neutralize the stored energies to get on with my life? The rational, mature heart is a place inside that is balanced and its attitudes. The balance provided by heart intelligence will allow your intuition to present you with common sense go forward strategies that are best for you and everyone involved. Here's what happened to Tracy when she used step 4. Resting in neutral, I found a peace here. But every few seconds, I felt some of the old thoughts and feelings resurface. So I went back to breathing compassion through the heart and solar plexus to anchor myself back in the mature heart, a place where I could remain calm and objective. Practice step 4. Then write down your feelings and perceptions on your cut-through worksheet. If you find that you were not able to remain neutral, don't worry. This is normal in learning how to cut through, especially if the issue has a lot of anxiety and emotional investment associated with it. You aren't bad. Just go back to step 2 for a few moments, like Tracy did, breathing compassion for yourself in through your heart and out through your solar plexus, so you become more grounded. Then move through step 3 and step 4 again until you can rest in a more neutral, mature heart that is willing to say, what if I wasn't bad? Or what if I really don't have the whole picture? Or it's time to forgive myself or another and move on. And you mean it. Steps 1 through 4 have prepared you for the last steps of the technique, which will help you to release an anxiety pattern at the neutral, electrical, and biochemical levels. As you practice steps 5 and 6, you clear out the residues and lay in a new pattern. Step 5. Soak and relax any disturbed or perplexing feelings in the compassion of the heart. Dissolve the significance a little at a time. Remember, it's not the problem that causes energy drain, as much as the stored significance you have assigned to the problem. When you feel disturbed about something, realize it's not the issue itself that's causing you discomfort. It's the importance or emotional significance that you have invested in the issue. On major issues, it's nearly impossible not to have assigned a lot of significance. And that's all right. But now it's time to start anew. Knowing that stored significance will only keep on draining your energy, you can commit now more than ever to release it. In step 5, you use the coherent power of the heart to end this chapter in your life. Have respect for yourself and compassion for having gone through that experience. After all, you were hurt. Now it's time to release any self-judgments or feelings of having done bad in response to the situation. It's all okay. You can take a lot of significance out by knowing that many others would have reacted in the same way. This helps to more quickly forgive and release the issue within your system. Through practicing step 5, you can let all that go and align yourself with a new commitment to move forward. What is important to your healing is your ability to keep your heart open and release the entrapments of what your mind is insisting should have happened instead. Soak any feeling of poor me out of your system. Being a victim doesn't serve you. It only keeps the same old feelings spinning round and round. You've already done this enough. In step 5, you keep taking perplexing feelings and memories back to the heart and soaking them there to dissolve the significance. You keep relaxing reassurances, you keep relaxing resistances, pain, or compressed or stuck energy that you may be feeling in the heart. Just allow resistance or heaviness to simply soak in the energy of the heart. Don't worry if it doesn't release entirely. Feeling compassion for yourself will accelerate the process. Take your time with this step. Emotional histories are deeply ingrained patterns in your neutral circuitry and cells, which is why they keep resurfacing and taking hold of you. Depending on how deep these feelings go and how much reinforcement they've had, there may be a lot of emotional energy stored in them. As you dissolve the significance and transform the stored incoherent energy, you gradually release the pattern, resulting in more peace and satisfaction. Tracy wrote the following after practicing step 5. I began to relax more and was able to remove some of the significance that I had placed on the situation with my employee. It was now getting clear that my emotions were being fueled by not wanting to hurt another person's feelings. I did not want her to think I was bad or unhappy with her as a past person. This was my own vanity and a common pattern in many areas of my life. The insight gave me some release. I felt calmer and more objective about the issue and realized I didn't need to take it personally. There simply needed to be an adjustment. I would tell her that the performance of her work tasks needed to improve, and I would help in any way I could to facilitate that improvement. Wow, I began to feel more balanced, even though I knew that I couldn't anticipate her reaction to this news. Practice step 5. Then write down your feelings and perceptions in your cut-through worksheet. Assign unresolved feelings to soak in the heart as you move on to step 6. Step 6. After dissolving as much significance as you can from your deep heart, sincerely ask for appropriate guidance or insight. If you don't get an answer, find something to appreciate for a while. Now, after having done steps 1 through 5, you are more able to hear your heart intelligence. The heart doesn't always flash its answer on a neon sign. A lot of times, heart intelligence comes to you softly and subtly. When people talk about the still small voice of the heart, they are saying that the heart communicates through a delicate, intuitive feeling or subtle knowing. It's important to follow even fleeting heart perceptions. If a perception is peaceful and feels good to you, that's your signal to follow it, even if it seems too simple or easy. Here's Tracy's experience with step 6. After I removed all the significance that I could feel and think of, I sincerely asked my heart intelligence to help me write the evaluation. I also asked for instructions on how to proceed in the meeting. The most difficult part was done, letting go of the anxiety that kept me from moving forward efficiently. Writing the evaluation was a lot easier once I released the anxious feelings. I knew intuitively what to write and felt good about what I said. The review, although not perfect, went smoother than I expected. We addressed the issues and set new goals. She also agreed to do some extra training, which she went ahead and took. Now practice step 6 and write your feelings and perceptions on your cut-through worksheet. Don't despair if you don't get new intelligence on the spot. Sometimes you will draw a blank. That can be an indicator that the most helpful approach for now is to put the issue aside for a while and move on. The most effective way to move on is to find something to appreciate. Take whatever glimmers of peace or release you have gained from the cut-through and appreciate them. Or choose something in your life to appreciate. Appreciation helps sustain the coherence you have built and can keep you from being pulled as far back into old patterns. Intentionally generating appreciation often brings clarity on other issues you're working on. So it's a productive use of your time and energy. Use attitude breathing for 30 seconds or longer, breathing appreciation so you can rise above the issue you've been using cut-through on and move on to something else. Allow insights to come to you later as you put your attention elsewhere. Take action.
Zoe, thank you very much. Take a break. I believe we should stop here because we cover a lot of information. Then it would be time for us to review. And I would like to say thank you, Zoe, Helen, and Isaac for your reading. I'm going to stop recording right now. And before I stop recording, next webinar will be Monday, hopefully May 9th. I'll see you then. Hold on for a second, please.